They say your wedding day is the happiest day of your life. Mine was the day my world ended. My name is Chioma Ada. I'm 24 years old, from Lagos, Nigeria. I came to Seoul 3 years ago to study international business at Korea University. I fell in love with a Korean man, Park Ji-sung. We were getting married. Until he left me at the altar. Pregnant. Alone. In a country that wasn't mine. That's when Kang Tae-jin found me. Korea's most dangerous man. A mafia boss with a reputation for ruthlessness. He offered me protection, a home, safety for me and my unborn child. I should have said no. Should have run. Should have known that accepting help from a man like him would change everything. But I was desperate. Broken. And he was the only one who didn't walk away. This is my story. Of how the worst day of my life became the beginning of something I never expected. The wedding was supposed to be small. Just close friends and family at a beautiful chapel in Gangnam. I wore a white dress I'd saved 6 months to afford. My best friend Adiz flew in from Lagos to be my bridesmaid. My mother couldn't come, too expensive, but she'd cried happy tears on our video call that morning. My daughter, married in Korea. Chiemo, she'd said in Igbo, showing me off to neighbors through the phone. I was 3 months pregnant. Ji-sung and I had decided to marry quickly, before I started showing. His parents didn't approve. Their son marrying a Nigerian woman was bad enough, but pregnant before marriage? Scandalous in traditional Korean culture. But Ji-sung promised he didn't care. We love each other, he'd said. That's all that matters. I believed him. I stood in the bride's room, Adiz adjusting my veil. You look beautiful, Chioma, she said in Igbo. Like a queen. I'm so nervous. That's normal. In 1 hour, you'll be Mrs. Park. A knock on the door. The wedding coordinator, a Korean woman with a tight smile. It's time. Your groom is waiting. We walked down the hallway. Through the door, I could see the chapel. White flowers everywhere. Soft music playing. About 40 guests seated. But as we got closer, I noticed something wrong. People were whispering. Looking uncomfortable. The wedding coordinator's phone rang. She answered, her face going pale. Wait here, she told me. She rushed into the chapel. I watched through the door as she spoke to Ji-sung's best man. His face fell. He shook his head in disbelief. Then the best man walked to the microphone. I'm sorry, everyone. The wedding is cancelled. Please, everyone can leave. My blood went cold. What? Adiz grabbed my arm. What's happening? The guests started leaving. Confused murmurs in Korean. Some looked at me with pity. I pushed through the door, still in my wedding dress. Wait. What's happening? Where's Ji-sung? The best man, Min-soo, I'd met him twice, looked at me with something like guilt. I'm sorry, Chioma SSI. Ji-sung, he's not coming. What do you mean not coming? Where is he? He left. Last night. He took a flight to Japan. He left this. Min-soo handed me an envelope. My hands shook as I opened it. A letter in English. Chioma, I'm sorry. I can't do this. My parents threatened to disown me if I married you. I tried to be strong, but I can't lose my family and my inheritance. The baby, I can't be a father. I'm not ready. I've sent money to your account for expenses. I'm sorry. Don't try to find me. Ji-sung. The chapel spun around me. No. No, this is a mistake. He loves me. We're having a baby. I'm sorry, Min-soo said again. He made his choice. Adiz caught me as my legs gave out. That bastard. That coward. Chioma, we'll figure this out. But I barely heard her. I was pregnant. Abandoned at the altar. In Seoul. With a student visa that was expiring in 2 months. With barely any money. With a baby coming. Everything I'd built here, my relationship, my plans, my future, gone in one letter. The next 3 days were a blur. I stayed in my tiny Gashawon room in Sinchon, crying, not eating. Adiz had to go back to Lagos, her vacation days were up. Before she left, she grabbed my shoulders. Come home to Lagos, she begged in Igbo. Your mother will help. We all will. And tell her what? That her daughter was abandoned pregnant in Korea? That she was right, I should never have come here? Chioma. I can't go home a failure. I can't. After she left, I was truly alone. I checked my bank account. Jisung had sent money, Korean won 5 million. About $4,000. Enough for a few months, maybe. Then what? My student visa expired in 7 weeks. I couldn't legally work. I had no family here. No support system. Just a baby growing inside me and a future that looked darker every day. I tried calling Jisung. His number was disconnected. I messaged him on KakaoTalk. Blocked. I found his parents' house in Gangnam. They called security when they saw me, threatened to call the police if I came back. Our son made a mistake, his mother said coldly in Korean through the intercom. But we won't let that mistake destroy his life. Stay away from our family. I walked back to the subway station in Gangnam, still in the cheap Korean clothes I'd bought to try to fit in. Past couples taking selfies. Past families laughing. Past pregnant Korean women with their husbands holding their hands. I'd never felt more alone. That's when I saw him. Kang Tae-jin. He was getting out of a black Genesis GV80, surrounded by men in suits. I knew who he was, everyone in Seoul's underground knew. Tae-jin ran half of Gangnam's criminal operations. Loan sharking, protection rackets, smuggling. The news called him, the Ice King, because of his cold reputation. I should have looked away. Should have walked past. But I was so tired, so broken, so empty that I just stood there, staring. He looked up. Our eyes met. And for just a second, I saw something in his face I didn't expect. Recognition. Not of me, I'd never met him. But recognition of something else. Pain, maybe. Loss. Something human beneath the cold exterior. He said something to his men, then walked directly toward me. I should have run. You're crying, he said in English with a Korean accent. I touched my face. I hadn't realized. I'm fine. No, you're not. He studied me with dark, intelligent eyes. Nigerian, yes? I can tell from your features. Student? How did you? I pay attention. He tilted his head. You're also pregnant. Maybe 3 months? My hand went instinctively to my still flat stomach. That's none of your business. You're right. Forgive me. He pulled out a business card, matte black with just a phone number. But if you need help, call this number. I don't need anything from you. I know who you are. Good. Then you know I'm not a good man. But I'm a useful one. And you look like someone who needs usefulness more than goodness right now. Why would you help me? You don't even know me. Something flickered across his face, pain, maybe, or memory. Let's just say I have personal reasons for not wanting to see a pregnant woman alone and suffering in Seoul. Call. Don't call. Your choice. He walked away, back to his car, leaving me holding a Mafia boss's business card. I should have thrown it away. Instead, I put it in my pocket. For days later, I called the number. I'd tried everything else. My scholarship was revoked. Apparently Ji-sung's family had connections at the university. My part-time job at the African restaurant in Itaewon let me go. They couldn't keep an employee who'd lose her visa in weeks. My landlord wanted me out. I'd fallen behind on rent. I was 3 months pregnant, functionally homeless in Seoul, with no legal way to stay or work. The phone rang twice before he answered. This is Tae-jin. We met 4 days ago. In Gangnam. You gave me your card. A pause. The Nigerian woman. You're pregnant. Yes. And you need help. Yes. Where are you? I gave him the address of a coffee shop in Hongdae. But I don't know what you can do. I don't have money to pay you back. Come to Hanul Tower in Gangnam. Penthouse. 7 p.m. tonight. We'll discuss terms. Terms? Nothing is free, miss. Chioma Ada. Chioma. Beautiful name. It means good God in Igbo, yes? I was shocked he knew. You speak Igbo? No. But I do business everywhere. Including Nigeria. Lagos, specifically. I make it a point to learn about my business partners' cultures. His voice was careful, formal. 7 p.m. Penthouse. My driver will pick you up at the coffee shop at 6:30. Don't be late. He hung up. I sat there, shaking. What had I just agreed to? The driver picked me up in another black Genesis. Silent, professional, he drove me to Hanul Tower, one of the most expensive buildings in Seoul. The penthouse was the entire top floor. Inside was Korean minimalist luxury. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's skyline. Everything in blacks, whites, and grays. Expensive and cold. Tae-jin waited by the window, hands in his pockets, looking out at the city. He turned when I entered. Chioma Ada. Thank you for coming. You said we'd discuss terms. Direct. I appreciate that. Sit, please. We sat in facing chairs. He poured tea, some expensive Korean blend, with movements that were surprisingly graceful. Tell me your situation, he said. So I did. All of it. Jisung. The wedding. The pregnancy. The abandonment. My expiring visa. My lack of options. He listened without interrupting, his face unreadable. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. Then, I can help you. But you need to understand what that means. What do you want in return? First, clarity. I can extend your visa, I have connections in immigration. I can give you a place to live, I have several properties. I can ensure you have money for medical care, for the baby, for whatever you need. Why? Because, he stopped, choosing words carefully. 5 years ago, my wife was pregnant. She died. Car accident. I wasn't there to protect her. Since then, I've had let's call it a moral position. I don't let pregnant women suffer if I can prevent it. I saw the pain in his eyes. Real pain, beneath all that control. I'm sorry, I said quietly. Don't be. But understand, I'm not a charity. If I help you, you work for me. Work for you? Doing what? I won't do anything illegal. Nothing illegal. Nothing dangerous. I need someone who speaks English, Korean, and Igbo. Someone who can help me with my African business contacts. Translation, cultural consulting, that sort of thing. Very legitimate work, I promise. That's all? That's all. You work for me until the baby is born. After that, we discuss your future. Maybe you stay, maybe you go back to Nigeria, maybe something else. But for now, you and your child are safe. You have visa status. You have money. You have security. And what do you get out of this? An employee. And peace of mind that I've done one good thing in my life of bad things. I studied him. This dangerous man offering salvation. I have conditions, I said. His eyebrow raised. You're negotiating? I have to protect myself and my baby. So yes. Conditions. I'm listening. 1. I have my own room. My own space. You don't touch me or the baby unless I say so. 2. If I want to leave, I can leave. You won't stop me. 3. This is purely business. Nothing else. Agreed on all counts. Do we have a deal, Chioma Ada? I thought of my baby. Of the future I wanted to give this child. Of the alternative, going back to Lagos in shame, or worse, being deported. We have a deal, Kang Tae-jin. We shook hands. His grip was firm, warm. And my new life began. Tae-jin gave me a room in his penthouse. Not a guest room, a whole suite. Bedroom, bathroom, sitting area. Everything I could need. This was going to be my wife's art studio, he said quietly. She never got to use it. Now it's yours. His housekeeper, Mrs. Kwon, a kind older Korean woman, helped me settle in. She spoke some English. Mr. Kang is good man, she said while unpacking my few belongings. Seem cold, but good heart. He helped many people, but quiet. Not want attention. How long have you worked for him? 10 years. Since before his wife died. I see him happy then. After she die, he become ice. But maybe, she looked at me knowingly. Maybe he find warmth again. This is just business, Mrs. Kwon. She smiled. We see. The first few weeks were strange. Tae-jin worked constantly, meetings, phone calls, traveling. When he was home, he was polite but distant. Very Korean in maintaining proper boundaries. But he made sure I had everything. A doctor, the best OBGYN in Seoul, who spoke English. Prenatal vitamins. Healthy food. He even hired a tutor to help improve my Korean. You'll need business-level Korean if you're going to work for me, he said. The work was exactly what he promised. I translated documents from English to Korean, helped him understand Nigerian business culture, advised on deals with Lagos companies. It was interesting, challenging, totally legal. But slowly, something else started happening. We started talking. Late nights when he'd come home from work and I was still awake, studying Korean or reading about pregnancy. He'd pour tea, sit across from me in the living room, and we'd talk. About Seoul. About Lagos. About business and culture and everything else. I learned he'd built his empire from nothing. His father had been a street-level gangster who died when Tae-jin was 15. Tae-jin had sworn to be smarter, more strategic. He'd gone to Seoul National University, studied business, then used those skills to build a criminal empire that was more corporation than gang. I'm not proud of everything I've done, he said one night. But I'm proud that I did it with my brain, not just my fists. Why not go legitimate? You're smart enough. Because I'm too deep. My reputation, my connections, they're all in this world. I can't leave even if I wanted to. Do you want to? He looked at me then. Really looked. I'm starting to think maybe I do. I learned his wife, Min-ji, had been a painter. He kept her artwork throughout the penthouse, beautiful Korean landscapes, traditional and modern mixed. She was gentle, he said, looking at one of her paintings. Everything I'm not. She made me want to be better. Then she died, and I stopped trying. Is that why you're helping me? Because of her? Maybe. Or maybe because when I saw you crying in Gangnam, I saw someone who needed saving. And I've spent 5 years wishing I could have saved someone I loved. The baby grew. My belly started showing at 4 months. Tae-jin noticed immediately. You're showing, he said at breakfast. Yes. The doctor says everything is healthy. Good. He hesitated. Can I feel? I was surprised. But something in his eyes, vulnerability, made me nod. He placed his hand gently on my stomach. When the baby kicked, his face transformed. Wonder. Joy. Pain all mixed together. She's strong, he whispered. She? I think it's a girl. Just a feeling. He was right. At my next ultrasound, the doctor confirmed, a girl. I'm having a daughter, I said, crying happy tears. Tae-jin, who'd insisted on coming to the appointment, squeezed my hand. She'll be beautiful. Like her mother. Something shifted that day. At 5 months pregnant, I officially started showing. Tae-jin insisted on hiring additional security, not for him, but for me. People know you're living with me, he explained. That makes you a target. I won't let anyone hurt you or the baby. I can take care of myself. I know you can. But let me help anyway. He was protective without being controlling. If I wanted to go to Itaewon to eat Nigerian food, his driver took me. If I wanted to shop for baby things, Mrs. Kwon went with me. But I still had freedom. One evening, I was craving Nigerian food badly. I need suya, I told Tae-jin. Real suya from Itaewon. What suya? Spicy grilled meat. Very Nigerian. Very delicious. Let's go then. You want to come? Why not? I should understand Nigerian food if I'm doing business in Lagos. So we went to Itaewon together. A Korean mafia boss and a pregnant Nigerian woman, eating suya at a Nigerian restaurant called Mama Ngozi's. Mama Ngozi herself came out when she saw me. Chioma. Where you been? And who is this fine Korean man? This is Tae-jin. My employer. Mama Ngozi looked between us, saw something I wasn't ready to admit. Employer. He look at you like employer? I don't think so. After we left, Tae-jin asked, was she right? About what? How I look at you. My heart raced. How do you look at me? Like I'm falling for you. Which is inconvenient, because you work for me. And you're pregnant with another man's child. And you deserve better than a criminal. Tae-jin. But I can't help it. You're smart. You're strong. You didn't break when that coward left you. You're building a life for your daughter with grace and dignity. How could I not fall for you? This is complicated. I know. So I won't pressure you. Won't push. But I need you to know, I'm falling in love with you, Chioma Ada. And when you're ready, if you're ready, I'll be here. He didn't ask for an answer. Didn't demand anything. But that night, lying in bed with my hand on my growing belly, I realized something terrifying. I was falling for him too. At 6 months pregnant, danger found us. Tae-jin had a rival, Kim Jae-sung, another crime boss who wanted Tae-jin's territory. He'd been probing, testing, looking for weaknesses. He found one. Me. I was shopping for baby clothes in Gangnam, Mrs. Kwon with me, when 3 men approached. Korean, suits, dangerous eyes. You're Kang Tae-jin's Nigerian whore, one said in English. Mrs. Kwon immediately stepped in front of me, pulling out her phone. Security. Now. The man grabbed my arm. Jae-sung wants to send a message to Kang. You're the message. I screamed. People around us started noticing, pulling out phones. Tae-jin's security arrived, 6 men in black suits, moving fast. A fight broke out. I was pushed behind Tae-jin's men, Mrs. Kwon shielding me. The attackers ran. But one turned back, pulled a knife, lunged at me. I screamed, stumbled backward, hit the ground. Pain shot through my stomach. Mrs. Kwon was calling ambulance, calling Tae-jin, crying in Korean. Everything blurred. Pain. Fear. My baby. Please God, let my baby be okay. I woke in a hospital room. Tae-jin was there, holding my hand, his face devastated. The baby? I asked immediately in Korean. Safe. Doctor says she's fine. But you need bed rest. No stress. I started crying. I was so scared. I know. I'm sorry. This is my fault. My enemies, my war, but you paid the price. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. It is. He stood, paced. I should never have let you into my world. Should have found another way to help you. Now you and your daughter are targets. What are you saying? I'm saying maybe you should leave. Go back to Lagos. I'll pay for everything, apartment, medical care, everything. You'll be safe from my enemies. No. Chioma. No. I sat up despite the pain. I'm not running. I've been running since Jisung left me. Running from shame, from failure, from everything. I'm done running. But the baby. The baby is fine. The doctor said so. And she'll stay fine because we'll be careful. We'll increase security. We'll be smarter. But I'm not leaving you. Why not? Because I love you. The words hung in the air. I'd finally said it. You love me? His voice was barely a whisper. Yes. I love you, Kang Tae-jin. I love how you protected me when no one else would. I love how you're gentle with my baby. I love how you try to be better even when you think you can't. I love you. He crossed the room, knelt beside my hospital bed, took my hand. I love you too. I love your strength. I love your laugh. I love watching you grow our daughter. Our daughter? If you'll let me be her father. Not by blood, but by choice. I want to raise her, protect her, love her. And I want to love you. Build a life with you. A real life, not just a business arrangement. Yes, I whispered. Yes to all of it. He kissed me then. Soft, careful, mindful of my condition. A kiss that promised future, safety, love. We'll do this right, he said. I'll take care of Jae-sung. Permanently. Then we'll build something real. Together. Tae-jin kept his promise. Within 2 weeks, Kim Jae-sung was arrested. Tae-jin had gathered evidence of his crimes and given it all to the police anonymously. Jae-sung would spend 20 years in prison. I'm done with the criminal life, Tae-jin told me. I'm going legitimate. It'll take time, but I'm done. For you. For our daughter. For the life we're going to build. At 7 months pregnant, Tae-jin asked me properly. He took me to Namsan Tower at sunset, rented the whole observation deck. Seoul spread below us, beautiful and glittering. Chioma Ada, he said in English, Igbo, then Korean. Will you marry me? Will you let me be your husband, your daughter's father, your partner in everything? He opened a box. A ring, diamond, but also with Nigerian and Korean design elements mixed. I had it custom made. To represent both of us. Our cultures. Our love. Yes, I said, crying happy tears. Yes, I'll marry you. We married simply, at 8 months pregnant. Not a big ceremony, neither of us wanted that. Just close friends at a small chapel in Seoul. Mrs. Kwan was there, crying happy tears. Mom Ngozi from the Nigerian restaurant came, declaring she knew all along. Even some of Tae-jin's men came, looking uncomfortable in suits but genuinely happy. My mother video called from Lagos. When she saw Tae-jin, she cried. He looks at you with love, she said in Igbo. Real love. Not like that other boy. This one will stay. I will, Iamianim, Tae-jin said in Korean, then English. I'll stay forever. I wore a simple white dress that accommodated my pregnant belly. Tae-jin wore a black suit. We said vows we'd written ourselves. I came to Seoul chasing dreams, I said. I lost some dreams. But I found better ones. I found you. I found our family. I found home. I was dead inside, Tae-jin said. You brought me back to life. You and our daughter. I promise to protect you both. Love you both. Be the man you deserve. When he kissed me, I felt complete. This man. This life. This unexpected joy born from my darkest moment. 1 month later, our daughter was born. Bright-eyed, beautiful, perfect. We named her Amara Min-ji, Amara from Igbo meaning grace, and Min-ji after Tae-jin's first wife. Min-ji would have loved her, Tae-jin said, holding our newborn. She would have loved you too. I wish I could have known her. You do, in a way. She taught me how to love. You taught me how to love again. You're both part of my heart. Tae-jin went completely legitimate. Sold his criminal enterprises, invested in legal businesses. We split our time between Seoul and Lagos, raising Amara in both cultures, both languages, both worlds. Ji-sung tried to come back when he heard about the wedding. Tae-jin's lawyers made it clear, he'd signed away all parental rights in his abandonment. Amara was legally Tae-jin's daughter. I don't want him near our daughter, I said. Our daughter, Tae-jin agreed, kissing my forehead. He gave up that right. I'll be her father. In every way that matters. 2 years later, we had a son, Chaik Tae-hyun. Then another daughter, Adiz Ji-won. Our family grew. I finished my degree at Korea University. Tae-jin paid for everything. Started a business consulting firm connecting Korean and Nigerian companies. Built the career I'd dreamed of. But more importantly, I built a family. A life. A love. They say your wedding day is the happiest day of your life. My first wedding day was the worst. But my second wedding day, marrying the man who found me broken and helped me become whole, that was the happiest. I was abandoned pregnant at the altar in Seoul. It nearly destroyed me. But it led me to Tae-jin. To love. To family. To home. And I wouldn't change a single thing.